What is up, guys? MiniBean75 here, and today I am back with another episode of Minecraft Creations, and this, guys, is going to be the RMS Titanic. I am ridiculously excited to show you guys this build. This, in my opinion, is going to be the best build I've ever done, and probably the most detailed build I've ever done. I'm so excited to show you guys this. Everybody knows what the Titanic is. If you don't, go do some research, because it was an amazingly built ship that just had an unbelievable tragedy that happened just over 100 years ago. It was like 105 years ago this year. So anyway, guys, yeah, the Titanic, it hit an iceberg. Don't judge me for my iceberg. It looks like crap. Judge me for the Titanic, which doesn't look like crap. But yeah, so before I get too far into showing you guys the ship, guys, I am going to tell you, as I tell you in every video, if you want to see the full time lapse of any of my new builds, head down in the description to my Patreon account, and if you support me, you're going to get to see some exclusive content. Well, with this one, guys, I have decided, because of the fact that this time-lapse, this build took me so long, guys, the time-lapse is going to be multiple parts. Typically, my time-lapses are anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours long. That's the sped-up version, because, I mean, it takes a while to do builds. So, yeah, this one is going to be multiple parts, so I'm going to make these public. So, basically, anybody, so any of you guys are going to be able to see these time-lapses. You're just going to have to watch them on my Patreon page. So it's not going to be bad at all. Like I said, that description or that link is in the description to my Patreon page. You can check out my page. You'll be able to see the full time lapse, literally from the first few blocks being placed all the way to the last block being placed. You're going to get to see the full time lapse of this entire build. Like I said, you just have to go on to the Patreon page and you're going to get to see that, and that's going to be available as soon as this video goes live. The first one is going to be available, so definitely head over there and check it out. Anyway, guys, let's get into it. I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that this video isn't too long. It's going to be kind of tough because there's so much, and I didn't just do the shell of the ship. I did literally every part of the ship. As you guys can see in here, you guys can see we've got actual rooms, literally all the way down. I've got the engine room, I've got the cargo bays, I've got the swimming pool. My layout of the ship may not be 100% accurate in certain places, but I did my best with what I could do in Minecraft to try to get everything in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right at the front of the ship. Well, first off, as you guys can see here is, if you ever watched the movie, here's where you're the king of the world and you're flying and la-da-da-da-da. This is the very front of the ship. And we've got different pieces of equipment here. This is the crane for the anchor. Here is the crow's nest. This is where they would have stood to see that iceberg. And then we can go down here, and we've got two cranes. These cranes were to, bring big, large pieces of equipment off the shore onto the ship, things like that. So let's start over here in the front of the ship. This is going to be where the driver would have stood. Basically, here's going to be his steering wheel, and this guy is controlling the whole ship. I mean, they've got the engines going and everything like that because it's a steam engine ship, but for the actual, the person who's running the rudder at the back of the ship, it's this guy right here. So we've got all these things. If you've ever seen the movies, these are the things that they would flip back and forth to change, the piston, what they want, how fast they want the pistons to run for the steam and all that stuff. So I don't know the technicalities of it, but this is basically all the equipment that they would use to, run the ship to make it go faster. All right, and then we can come in here, guys, and this is basically going to bring us into the grand stairway, which I am super excited about. I thought it turned out really, really well. Probably one of the better parts of the ship, just because this was so high class. I mean, this is where all the first class people. I mean, this is the one piece of Titanic that was really used. I mean, not even just in the movie, but in general, everybody remembers this grand staircase. So I think it turned out good. We've got the big clock here, as you guys can see. And then we can just kind of keep going down here. We've got another stairwell. This stairwell is going to bring us over here to like the second class area. And as you guys can see, we've got elevators here, which for the most part I'm probably going to use the elevators. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down one of these stairwells just so you can see that the stairwell is literally going to go down to every floor. Here's going to be another second class area with a lot of second class rooms. Down here is now we're going to start getting down into the third class area, where these third class people, their rooms aren't really a whole lot. Like I said, it was kind of what I showed you guys through that window. It's a couple bunk beds and a couple dressers, and that's about it. The walls are just the iron from the ship. They didn't really get a whole lot of extra, but to them, these first class people were dirt poor. I mean, for them, this was first class. They had never experienced anything like this. They had never been anywhere where, number one, they knew where their next meal was coming from. Number two, part of the Titanic ticket was for anybody on the ship, you got whatever, all you could eat. So even for the third class people, this was still first class. So we can keep going down. Here's another set of, third class. We can go down another row of third class. There was a lot of third class people. And then we get down here to the bottom. And now the bottom area here, this is where we get into, we get down. So if we go down these steps here, now we're going to get down to the furnaces. So here are the furnaces. Basically, these furnaces are going to go all the way up to the smokestacks. They connect to the smokestacks. And then here we've got the coal. Basically, if you didn't know in the layout of the ship, they would have the furnaces in the center underneath the smokestacks. They would have the coal, and that's basically where the coal was stored. And they would take that coal to put it in the furnaces to create the steam and all that jazz to make the ship go. Basically, is the easiest way that I can explain it. We can go in here. Here's one of the cargo spots. If you ever watched the movie, which people judge the movie, I liked the movie. I thought the movie was a complete masterpiece, in my opinion. This love story gets kind of meh, but for the most part, the movie itself, James Cameron's a phenomenal director. But yeah, so here's like the cargo area. This is where Jack and Rose would have got busy in one of the cars, because they had, obviously, for the first class people who could afford cars back in 1912, they wanted to bring their car from overseas back to the U.S. So we can go all the way across here to the other side. Like I said, this whole section down here is just going to be all the different furnaces. In here, we're going to get to the engine room, which I thought turned out absolutely freaking awesome. As you guys can see here, my engine room probably isn't as detailed and as big as what the engine room actually was, but for the sake of Minecraft, I thought it did a pretty good job. Here we've got a couple of the big pistons. Basically, what would happen is the steam would get created. These pistons this section would spin back and forth, which would cause this section to spin, which would cause this section to spin. This is the turbines, and basically these turbines are going to cause this to spin, which is going to lead all the way down to the back of the ship, which is going to lead to the propellers, which I'll show you when we go back outside. And then in here is going to be another cargo section in the rear. No cars back here, just more cargo stuff. Obviously, because there were a lot of people on the ship, they need a place to put all their luggage. So now we're going to move up a row, and we're going to go through these doors. And everything, it's cool. I mean, the real Titanic, it was built like a maze. Trying to figure out exactly how to build this was freaking unbelievable, just because it's so hard to read the blueprints, because the ship was huge. There's so many rooms. I have nowhere near as many rooms that are supposed to be in here, but a lot of it's because of the fact that, I'm building walls with a block that's technically a foot by foot. But yeah, so now what we'll do, let's go. I got to go up one floor to get to the elevator. We can come over here to an elevator, because all these third class rooms, guys, are going to be the exact same. I built them all the exact same. It just kind of depends on which section of the third class you're in, because sometimes it'll bring you down here into a lower section. See, this is a lower third class section that's so low that the floor is iron too. It's not even the red floor down here. So, I mean, that just kind of shows. And down here is the swimming pool down super low. Like I said, they did have a swimming pool. The placement of the swimming pool isn't 100% accurate. It was kind of in a different spot. But, I mean, there was still a swimming pool in the Titanic, which I just think is unbelievable. 1912, and they have a frickin' swimming pool in a ship. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let's keep it moving, guys. So we've basically seen this floor. We're going to take the elevator up. We'll go up a floor, and then we can come in here. These are going to be the exact same, because like I said, third class is going to be the same. I just kind of want to go around so you guys can kind of see the layout of the ship a little bit, because there's one section, usually it's on this side, where here, I mean, you're going to have more floors that are like more rooms that are going to go around here like this, and then you're going to be able to come up and you can just go upstairs. So if you like live on this section of the ship and you just want to go up a floor, you can go up these right here. But then I believe it's in this section, or on this floor on the other side, there's a huge stairwell that we have set up. Yeah, it's right here where you can go down these, and then this will actually take you down to the floor below it. So I mean, it's a huge maze. Honestly, to understand it all, you would have to be able to go through it. Hopefully, once they allow us to make Xbox One maps downloadable for Minecraft, I will be able to put this up for download, and you guys will get to experience this map firsthand. I'm not going to touch this map by any means, like destroy it or anything, so that once that happens, I can put that up and you guys will be able to see it. So then in here, this is going to be, from what I could understand, like a second-class cabin, basically. Just a couple different beds, dressers, but then it's got some bookshelves and some paintings, stuff to make it nicer, wood floors. Second class was kind of like your midway point. You know, I feel like second class is just going to be for like your mid-generation, you know, like if you considered like the way that like how much money is like high class and whatnot in America, I feel like second class is probably going to be your $50,000 to $150,000 a year people. The people that can generally afford just a little bit more, they're not, you know, the $50,000 and under per year people. But then you got those people who are making millions and millions of dollars per year, which are the first class, the people that, you know, paid $200,000 back in 1912 for this ticket. You know, I mean, for a week of just being on a ship, it's freaking crazy. All right, guys, so now we are going to go up to the next floor, and basically in here we are going to, in here I put, I believe this is where I put the bathroom through one of these hallways. Yeah, I put some bathrooms. Obviously, on the real Titanic, there were you know, especially for the first class and the second class, the bathrooms were part of their room. But with the sake of Minecraft, I didn't want it to look like they were literally, you know, going to the bathroom where they slept. So I just kind of put a community bathroom. In here is what a first class cabin is going to kind of look like. It looks kind of plain, but that's just because of the fact that first class wasn't cramped. I mean, they had big rooms. Some of those first class cabins were multi-rooms. And you know, they were just set up to look real nice. They had big paintings, big bookshelves, stuff like that. And I'm definitely my cabins are the parts that are probably not accurate. Just because by the time I got through the rest of the ship, built everything down below, and got up here, you kind of run out of room. I mean, it's kind of weird to think about when I look at like the entire ship, but you think about it. And the smallest rooms were in the bottom, which is the biggest part. So I'm working on trying to do these big rooms in the smallest part of the ship. It was tough, but I still think it turned out awesome. So let's go here. I want to get back up to the top floor here. So as you guys can see here, here's where the lifeboats would sit. I thought this was a really, really cool idea. Basically, these are set up. These are what you're going to drop the lifeboat with. I thought it was awesome to not try to actually build boats to actually use real Minecraft boats on the ship. I just think it makes the ship look way more authentic and just look absolutely awesome. I mean, I think that's pretty much all I have to show you guys inside. Like I said, it's a lot of rooms. It's a lot of hallways. But yeah, and we can go up here. We can look at the smoke as well. The smoke, I think, looks awesome. I use spider webs for the smoke, as you guys can see here. And if you didn't know this, this is cool because this will really show you, the back smokestack was fake. They built the first 3. The ship worked with 3, and then basically they thought that the ship didn't look, you know, like big enough and masculine enough, so they decided to build a 4th smokestack that literally was just there for show. So that's why there's smoke coming from the front 3 and not the back one. But yeah, I mean, here's the ship, guys. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Comment down below what you guys think about it. And as you guys can see down here, this is what I was talking about with those propellers. We've got the rudder there, and then you guys can see down there in the water, we've got the propellers. Those propellers are connected to those big, long pieces that were connected to the turbines. So, I mean, everything in the ship is 100% connected together. I did it that way on purpose so that we don't, you know what I mean? I want everything to be 100% accurate. I don't want stuff to be off. So yeah, I think the ship looks absolutely awesome. Let me know down below what you guys think about it. I have been in talks with a couple friends as well. Let me know if you guys would like to see us do a Minecraft Games episode and play hide and seek in the Titanic. That might be really, really fun. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. At that point, I would know you guys sat here through the whole video to hear that. So yeah, let me know if you want to see us do that. And like I said before, guys, if you want to see the entire time-lapse of this video, it's going to be multiple parts. from start to finish, head down in the description to my Patreon account. Typically, I ask you to support me. With this one, guys, I want everybody to be able to see the full time lapse of this. So head down to the description to my Patreon account. My Patreon account, my name is MiniBean75, just like on my YouTube channel. And that is going to go live as soon as this video goes live as well. You are going to get to see the full time lapse. You'll get to see part 1 today. So if you like this video, hit that like button down below. You have no idea how much that helps me out. I do also want to ask with this one, guys, because it took me so long, if you like this, definitely share this video. Share it on whatever social media platform you use. You have no idea how much just one share can help me, because all it takes is for one person to, that one right person to see it, and this video could go absolutely viral, which I would love to see. I put so much work into this. I have so much respect for Titanic, the ship itself, the shipbuilders, and the tragedy that happened. I've always been fascinated with the Titanic. This is a build that I've wanted to do forever, so I'm super, super excited. So yeah, like I said, guys, if you like the video at all, like it, share it, comment down below, let me know what you think. It helps me out so much. So other than that, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.